Welcome back to KimchiRednecks, ladies and gents. So today, since I promised y'all that there was going to be car stuff on this channel, and that's mainly my responsibility, I figured I would regale you with the tale of my car that's arriving.
Please tell us the story.
Oh, since I have a request, I will answer the question. So, if you ask any car guy who has found his car, just the one that he loves, it doesn't matter if it's the fastest, it doesn't matter if it's the coolest, it doesn't even matter if there's something fundamentally wrong with it.
Zero.
But when you sat down in it, it just fit, it was right. So, I'm generally a Subaru fan. I like the WRXs, I like the Foresters, I like the Outbacks. You know, I've had a couple of each, or at least one of each, and I loved them. The BRZ, which is also the Toyota 86, is the only non-all-wheel drive Subaru, so it doesn't even make sense. But the one time that I drove one, I was in love. It fit. I just loved the way it handled. I loved the way it rode. So I decided I was going to buy me one. So when this model year came out, 2018, I had an option of a standard one with the performance pack, you know, upgraded brakes and all that. Or I could go with the TS, which was nice, but it had that big spoiler on the back of it, which is just a catch me sign for cops. And then I found it, the 50th anniversary edition, North American. Special color, that's pretty much the only difference between that and a limited edition with the performance pack. Has the low-rise spoiler on the back, not the big track one. Like the way it looks, like the way it rides, and it was cheaper than the TS. So I went looking. I found one online. So I bought that from Johnson Subarau in Cary, North Carolina. So I would like to give them a shout out, even though I get no sponsorship whatsoever. I bought the car with my own money. But they were nice enough to deal with me through email online. I bought the car sight unseen. They were even nice enough to send me pictures of them once I sent them the papers. So I'm going to try a little bit of video editing, and I'm going to try to get the pictures to pop up in the bottom of the screen here that they sent me from the dealership, so you can see what it looked like out of the box, as it were.
Huge props to our friend Jamie who picked the car up.
Yes, my friend, technically Melissa's friend, our friend, Jamie in South Carolina, drove up there and picked the car up and drove it back down and kept it in storage for me until I could get it picked up by the shipping company to truck it to California and then ship it to South Korea. So since that is arriving this week, I figured I would give you the quick rundown of basically my idiocy, because I bought a car, 32-ish grand, and then I had it shipped, which is another 3-ish grand, so I'm 35, and I've spent about $5,500 in parts for stuff that I knew I wanted to change, so I've got a $40,000, $30,000 car.
Yay!
Because race car. Anyway, so I gotta have a quick ad in here, because me being me, I forgot to mention that I was actually going to show you all of the car parts that I bought, because who wants to watch my face talk? But since we are getting ready to move soon, all of the car parts that are in boxes are in with the other boxes for the stuff getting packed. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to try and show you photos of them on the screen. So stay tuned. Anyway, so for the quick rundown on parts that I am putting on, I'm going to start obviously with the intake, because you got to get air into the engine. So started with the bog standard K&N box replacement filter, high flow for the air, and I'm pairing it up with a Cary 3-inch inlet hose. It's into the engine, it's got to get out, so we get to the exhaust. I've got the FT86 Speed Shop header with the titanium ceramic coating on it, going into the Tomei overpipe to replace that junk that they put on it stock with a little pinched area in it that chokes everything down. going into a McGann Racing catless resonated front pipe, which then goes into the rest of the McGann Racing RSOE resonated catback system, because I like the sound of it. That's pretty much the entire reason. I listened to about 15 different exhaust clips, and that was the one I liked the best. So, since we got air going in and air going out to make power, I'm replacing the stock two-piece steel drive shaft with a single-piece drive shaft shop carbon fiber drive shaft. Protect it from kick up on the road, I've got the Velox tunnel plate to cover the underside of the car. Speaking of Velox, I've got the air oil separator system, which with a naturally aspirated engine is not that important because you're not going to get a whole lot of blow-by, but it will separate any oil that's in the air before it goes into the engine. With that system, I got the automatic drain kit, so the oil that separates out will drain back into the engine. And part of that drain kit is a cam plate. Replaces the stock one, which just uses some sealant, which is not good if you ever decide to boost your engine, with a replacement plate that actually has an inlet with an O-ring, and that inlet connects to the drain, so all the oil goes right back in the engine. Planned right out. So, now that I've got air going in, power out, and drivetrain to get it on the ground, you got to keep it cool because that stock radiator is a tiny little thing. So I have got the Mishimoto radiator with the dual fan kit that goes with it, the low temperature thermostat, and the Mishimoto oil cooling kit. So they had it all in little bolt-on kits, and that works for me because I am not a mechanic. I can take stuff off and put stuff on, but I am not about to get into the nuts and bolts of stuff in there. So, now that I've got the cooling taken care of on that one, some little bits also that I bought for it. There are the M-Tech steel braided brake lines, because race car. There is the carbine brace front. I have not gotten the one for the back yet because I want to see how it handles with just the front one first. Some minor interior mods that I've bought. I got the Cusco carbon fiber e-brake handle with the drift button, and the GT86 armrest, because the North American model for some reason does not have an armrest. I don't get that.
Don't forget your shifting knob.
Oh yes, I do have a shift knob, which may be a bit ambitious, but I admire the sentiment. It says, got the regular shift pattern, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4 jail prison. I just think it's funny. Anyway, for all the mods that I've made, which pretty much you could do without any tuning modifications, you got to tune if you want the best performance. So I'm going with the Open Flash tablet tuning system, because they have off-the-shelf tunes that pretty much are designed exactly for what I bought. So that works for me. People have been using them for at least 5 years, and I haven't really heard of any cars blowing up. So that's a good measuring stick that they're not blowing up cars. So for all these parts that I've bought, again, I had to pay for it with all my own money, so there's no sponsorship going on. But I would like to give a shout out to the FT86 Speed Shop, especially to David in the sales department, because he took my orders, set it up, and got all this stuff shipped out to me, and it did not get mangled in shipping, which happens a lot out here. You wouldn't believe it.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David. That's all the stuff that I've got to put on the car. The car shows up soon, and I will give you video of that when it gets here, because I will most likely giggle like a little schoolgirl. Ooh-wee, look what we got here.